How's it going, YouTube? My name is Ari and welcome back to Blue Lion Finance. If you are brand new to the Blue Lion Finance channel, you're just stumbling across the channel today, let me quickly and personally catch you up to speed in sharing with you that Blue Lion Finance is all about investing, as well as my personal journey to amassing $100,000 within my Vanguard brokerage account. Now, what I typically do is give an update on where that account is sitting. So as of today, it is at $69,551.48. Before I actually get into the meat and potatoes of what this video today is all about, I want to go ahead and throw out a couple updates. The very first update being that I have actually begun to create a Skillshare personal finance class. That class is the building blocks of personal finance. It is a beginner's guide to money. So if you are looking to actually learn more about personal finance, you're interested in the class itself, the link will be posted below in the description. Make sure you go and check it out. Now, the big and second update that we have here for all of you is that Blue Lion Finance videos will now be published on Mondays and Wednesdays. So a brand new schedule for posting, that's Mondays and Wednesdays. Make sure you check back on those days or just simply hit that notification bell so you actually get notified when I post new videos. Regardless, today's video is going to be all about the 7 companies that paid me out in dividends. As always, make sure you stick around to the very end of the video where I'm going to disclose the total amount in dividends that I've received. And with all of that out of the way, YouTube, let's go ahead and get right to it. So in jumping right to it, we're gonna start off with Darden Restaurants, that's ticker symbol DRI. Now, when it comes to Darden Restaurants, you absolutely have to understand the powerhouse that Darden Restaurants is when it comes not only to just dividend investors, but actual companies that are out there to invest in. Because let's go ahead and talk about who they actually are and what they do. They are a multi-brand restaurant operator, operating brands from Olive Garden, Longhorn Steakhouse, Seasons 52, and the Capitol Grill. That list goes on and on. The point is, all of their restaurants are very well branded, but established restaurants that don't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. So if you're a dividend investor, this is certainly a company to keep an eye on. If we're taking a look at how their stock has actually been performing, you can notice that it's actually been outbeating the market. So a phenomenal investment, again, to just get invested in. But going ahead to take a look at the numbers, they have a dividend yield of 2.46%, which is a pretty strong dividend yield considering they're just a restaurant brand operator. Now, I have 5 shares of Darden Restaurants, meaning they paid me out a dividend of $4.43 to start off the month. Now, next up on the list here, we have AT&T, that's ticker symbol T. Just for a brief second, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on with AT&T. It's been in the news a lot recently, and the reason being is because they had a merger with Discovery. If you are a dividend investor, it has probably scared you because AT&T announced they are cutting their dividend. Their stock price has also dropped just a tad bit. But here's the deal when it comes to AT&T. When you're thinking about whether or not you should invest in it, AT&T is the world's largest telecommunications company. Not only that, it's the world's 2nd largest mobile phone service provider, meaning this company is not going anywhere anytime soon. And that merger, in my opinion, has helped AT&T substantially simply because with that merger, they took Warner Media, merged it with Discovery. While that dividend may be taking a little bit of a cut, what's happening in the long run is AT&T is going to get back to the core of their business with a primary focus on telecommunications and not so much media, which is fantastic news for dividend investors, again, who are invested for the long haul. Now, there were some projections, not from me, but from other big time investors that have projected that AT&T, with this primary focus and resetting their trajectories, just focusing on telecommunications, should have a nice return in the year or two to come of about 15 to 20%. So that's dividend aside, but when we're talking about their dividend, even the dividend cut is not going to impact us much because they have a very strong dividend yield. Whereas it used to be 7.07%, it's now going to be around 5%, so still a very strong dividend yield. Now, I personally have 12 shares of AT&T, which means they sent me a nice dividend paycheck of $6.24 for investing with them. Now, coming up on the 13th of the month, we had Apple, that's ticker symbol AAPL, pay me out a nice dividend. Don't need to say again a whole lot about Apple. I'm sure you're very familiar with Apple. I just want to say that when it comes to technology stocks, yes, Apple is a fantastic growth stock to invest in. However, it is also a pretty solid dividend stock to invest in. They have a 0.71% dividend yield, which is pretty strong for a technology company. Now, I hold 63 shares of Apple, meaning they sent me a nice dividend paycheck of $13.86. So thank you very much, Apple. Coming up on the 4th dividend paycheck I received it from Realty Income, that's ticker symbol O. Now, Realty Income is a REIT, so a real estate investment trust. It is my all-time, hands down, favorite dividend company to invest in. Being that it is a REIT, they pride themselves on being a monthly dividend payer. So literally, it's almost like you're actually owning the properties because you're collecting on their rent checks every single month. At least that's how I look at it. Now, when it comes to Realty Income itself, they have over 6,600 different properties across all 50 states. And get this, they have over 600 clients ranging from 7-Eleven, FedEx, Walmart, CVS, Home Depot, Kroger. You have probably at one time or another set foot on a Realty Income property. So because you're going out setting foot on their property, you might as well actually become an investor in their properties and collect on those dividends. Now get this, if we take a look at their actual stock, you'll have noticed that they have not fully recovered. They are still about 14% off from their pre-pandemic highs, which means that it's still a great opportunity for you as an investor to get invested in Realty Income. Now, they have a dividend yield of 4.12%. I personally own 38 shares of Realty Income and only ever looking to continue to increase my position. They sent me a nice dividend paycheck on the 14th of the month for $8.96. Just a few days later, we had Hormel Foods, that's ticker symbol HRL, send me a dividend paycheck. Now, Hormel Foods is a global branded foods company. So again, just another dividend player that's not really going anywhere anytime soon, especially because they were founded back in 1891. They've been paying dividends for over 90 years. They are not just a dividend aristocrat, but a dividend king. So a very stable company to actually invest in. I don't personally hold a lot of shares of Hormel Foods. I just began investing in them. As of right now, I only hold 4 shares of Hormel Foods, but they do pay out a nice dividend. Without further ado here, when it comes to Hormel Foods, they sent me a dividend paycheck of 98 cents for just holding those 4 shares. Now, next up on our list here, we have Fastenal Company, that's ticker symbol FAST. Now, Fastenal Company is a lesser known but essential company. Fastenal Company is an industrial supplier, so a company like Fastenal Company probably isn't going anywhere anytime soon, making it a very nice and safe dividend company to actually invest in. Now again, this is another company that I personally don't have a whole heck of a lot of shares in. I have 3 shares of Fastenal Company, but they do have a nice dividend yield year of 2.11%. Now when it comes to the actual dividend paycheck, they sent me a dividend paycheck of 84 cents on the month. Now lastly here, we had a dividend that I received from Invesco, that is a high dividend, low volatility ETF with a ticker symbol SPHD. If you're a dividend investor and you're investing in ETFs as a dividend investor, chances are you have this stock play within your own portfolio. Now, I like it because this ETF is incredibly well diversified. So we have companies that are in this ETF like Iron Mountain, ExxonMobil, Kinder Morgan, all very strong dividend players. Personally, I'm not a big investor in SPHD. Throughout 2020, I began investing in it, and chances are, as the market really begins to stabilize and I am unable to really find good opportunities to invest in, I will just overwhelmingly become more invested in SPHD. Their dividend yield is sitting nicely at 3.84%. Now with that dividend yield and those 3 shares, SPHD sent me a nice dividend paycheck for a whopping 34 cents. And that's it. Those are the 7 companies that paid me out through the month of March. But now for the moment you have all been waiting for, or at least the moment I've been waiting for since the very beginning of this video, which is where I disclose the total amount in dividends that I've received. Can I get that applause started, those drum rolls by your desk side going? Because that number is $35.65. And if you're sitting there saying that does not seem like a whole heck of a lot of money, you are absolutely correct. It doesn't seem like a whole heck of a lot of money, but think about what I did to actually get rewarded with that $35.65. Absolutely nothing other than store my money with solid companies that are continuously paying me out in dividends for being an investor with them, which is where I find dividend investing not only to be a very lucrative investment strategy, but a very safe and easy investment strategy. With all of that being said, if you have liked what you've heard, you've learned something new, perhaps you're even adding one of these companies to your portfolio, go ahead and just tap on that thumbs up button. It will greatly help me out in growing the Blue Lion Finance channel, getting the word out there. But moreover, if you personally have not already subscribed to this channel, go ahead and tap on that subscribe button. I would love to have you along the journey with me. And as for today, that is it. Finito, the end until the next video. So YouTube, I will see you all there.